the food throughout the day. This
Right.
is what we have observed with many of the users, and as well as we have tried. So
Yeah.
yes, that's a very nice way to incorporate nuts into your routine, that having it early morning.
Exactly, exactly. And in today's presentation, just want to bring this to all of you. Why this usually happens, I'm even going to discuss this in today's presentation. Why it is important for us to have a good balanced meal, or why we should not be just having a carbohydrate-rich meal. So we'll be surely discussing all these points in today's presentation. So all of you, please stay tuned. We'll be shortly starting with the session. And by then, if you have any doubts, any queries, you would want to share something about you, your journey. So please be, free to just comment in the chat section, and we'll be here to answer all your queries and your concerns. Also, like today's presentation will be having a small quiz by the end of it. So I would want all your attention to be, at the peak during the session, and we'll just try to analyze how much did we understand out of the session today. So really excited for the same as well.
So yeah, it's kind of an assessment we would be taking so that you guys will understand what we are going to talk today, because this topic is, I feel, little bit lengthy
Yeah.
and little bit, it will be little difficult for you guys to understand, but we'll try and make as easy as possible for you to get the knowledge about it well.
Yeah. Would want to, probably hear some comments in the chat section. How SugarFit has, or what changes SugarFit has brought in your lives as of now? Someone might be just 1 month old in the system. Someone might be like 6 months old in the system. So, what are those changes that you have seen in your body, or those positive impacts as of now that you could see in yourself post joining the SugarFit platform? Would want to hear from you.
Someone has commented no sound. People who are joined from phone, please check your device audio so that you'll be able to hear as well.
And in case you're not able to still listen, maybe you can just try to rejoin the session. That will probably help you. So let me know, Mr. Anand, once you're able to join the session and you could hear well, just drop me a message again. Yes, we are 35 people as of now. So as I was mentioning about what are the positive impacts or the positive things that we could notice in ourselves post joining SugarFit. Would want to quickly hear from all of you. Any chats, any comments in the chat section? Mr. Sharman Kumar, Pradeep ji, Mr. Jha, Mr. Anand. Yeah, that's amazing that you could, probably hear well now. So that's amazing to know. That's a beautiful, message from you, Mr. Deepak, that you have got the best diet suggestions. That's absolutely important for us, right? Because, I personally believe diet is one of that integral part of our life, or, food rather is an integral part of our life, which our life depends on the food that we eat, right? That's absolutely amazing. Eventually, what you eat is what you become. So if you're eating properly, you're fueling your body well. That is something which not just makes you physically well, but also emotionally very healthy, mentally very healthy. So that's amazing to know. Mr. Sanjeev Kumar Sharma mentions that he feels more energy, and that's again super important, you know. Like, of course, see, we at times do talk a lot about our weight and आपका weight कितना है, waist size कितना है. So all these are the numerical parameters which, yes, plays a crucial role. However, eventually what is more important is how do you feel about yourself? How are you feeling by the end of the day? So these things plays very, very crucial role, right? So very, very amazing to hear, Sanjeev ji, from you that your energy levels have increased. Because if by doing and by following everything by the end of the day, we just feel lethargic and lying on the bed, that really makes no sense for us, right? So that's a very important thing to, you know, probably prosper for us. Also, the metabolic score has improved. That's an amazing indication that gradually you are maintaining your glucose levels well, right? So that's again beautiful to hear. What's your take on this, Anuja? Mr. Alagrasan has mentioned that he's understanding the health now. Yeah.
Understanding the health. So I feel understanding health is much more important than just managing your sugar levels. But it is also important to know that your health revolves around your blood sugar levels. So it is always flattening your sugar curves, maintaining that in the healthy range will serve you your health and wealth well. So make sure that you will have balanced meals and all those things. We will discuss it soon in the session today. So yes, how to measure? Someone is asking how to measure metabolic score. So Dr. Pravina Ben, we measure metabolic score through the device called CGM, continuous glucose monitor. So that helps us calculating the metabolic score. Okay, someone is saying my coach Ikra is, well, I lost the message.
Yeah.
Is
So,
very, that's a great Deepak ji.
yeah.
So you are getting good insights from your coach, and we're happy to know that.
Mr. Sridhar has reduced the HbA1c levels from 9.3 to 7.8, Anuja.
Great improvement. I
Yeah.
must say great improvement, but it's a long way to go, Sridharji. You have to hit at least, let's say, below 6.5, or if more than that, it would be good. So once you reduce it, please do let us know that how much you are reducing your HbA1cs. Vivekji will start the seminar in next 1 or 2 minutes. Yeah. So what do you think? Shall we start, or I shall share the
Anushka,
screen?
just give me 1 second. Those who are not able to hear Anuja or Radhika, please check on the left hand side at bottom there is a mic. Click over there, join using the device audio, and you will be able to hear them.
You just discussed the concern of Pravina Ben Anuja, right? So she's mentioning that her CGM is not connected with the reader and the coach. So she would just want an insight on that.
Her CGM is not connected with the device,
Reader
and
and coach.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to check that with the technical team, I guess, because if your CGM is installed and it is not getting scanned, you can let your coach know that, so that she'll help you with this key, how you will be able to do that, and that she'll take the help from the technical team as well.
One more thing we can do here. When you open the app, at home page, there is the option to sync the CGM with the device. If you activate the sensor, you have to activate. There will be the option coming or flashing on the screen is the activate. Click over there and then you will be able to see the entire CGM data, and it takes 24 hours to get activated. I hope it's clear.
So it's 11:03. Neha, Anuja, I think we should be starting with the session.
Go
Okay.
ahead, girls. We are very excited.
Yeah. So once again, a very, very good morning to all of you present here today on this session. I really appreciate the time that you took out for today's session, and I'm sure every bit of it will be very, very useful for all of us. Okay. So, starting with today's session, I want to start with a beautiful quote around of Dr. Mark Hyman. He says, "We know that food is medicine. Perhaps it is the most powerful drug on the planet, which has the power to either cure or cause any disease," right? And I just cannot agree more to that. Anuja, can you please start sharing the screen?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I just cannot agree more to that, that yes, food is that important medicine, which will eventually help us to either cure or combat some of the other disease probably which is around us. So that's a very, very beautiful thought to start with today's presentation. And the topic today that we're going to discuss is how the food you eat affects your brain and blood glucose levels. So the first question is, does the food that we eat affects our blood and brain glucose levels? The answer to this is yes, it does affect, right? And this is what we are going to study and understand in today's presentation. How does it affect? What are the effects? And what causes the food to affect your brain and the blood glucose levels? Next slide, please. Now, before we go ahead, let us try to understand what all are the contents that we are going to study today, what all is the agenda for today's call for us. Okay. So, how food you eat affects your brain? The answer is like, yes, it does affect, but how does it affect is what we have to understand. Also, if we see that, okay, food is affecting your brain, food is affecting your glucose levels. So, what exactly is glucose? What is that major, that hike that we have around all of us? Glucose level बढ़ गया है, glucose level कम करना है, how to manage the glucose spikes. So, let us firstly understand what is glucose. Then understanding the hunger hormones. Sometimes feel like, no, I'm not full, I don't want to eat the food. Sometimes I'm very hungry, I would just want and eat something that is readily available for me as of now. So what is that causes these hunger hormones? And let us try to understand the hormones very well. Then I'll be giving you small tips to control your spikes, right? Because eventually, at times, we don't understand or we are not probably that aware about. But even taking those small baby steps throughout the journey, going ahead with a small little changes around us can actually help us to control the spikes. And eventually, on a longer run, will help us to manage our glucose levels. And that will also help us to work on our insulin sensitivity. Okay. Next, Anuja will help us understand the short and long term effects of glucose spikes. And then she'll be taking us through a beautiful brainstorming session, which will, through which she'll analyze how much did we understand today's session. So, next slide, please. Here it is a beautiful video which will depict and make you understand how the food that you eat will affect your brain, right? However, in today's session, we won't be right now playing the video because we would want all of you probably to have it as a homework for you. And we would want all of you to go through this video. So please do this as a homework today. It's a Sunday afternoon for you, all of you. So please go through this video and you will be having very beautiful insights about it. Next slide, please. Yeah. So now let us come to the question, what is glucose, right? We all might be having a lot of doubt. Glucose क्या है? Glucose खाने से क्या होता है? क्यों sugar level बढ़ जाता है? So let us understand what is glucose. If I just want to portray in a very simple language, glucose is the main type of sugar in the blood that we have, okay? And it's the basic source of energy for our body, for all the cells and tissues of our body. So basically, whatever food that we eat is it forms into the glucose, right? And glucose comes from the food that we eat, or eventually even the body has its stores. So if you're not having sufficient amount of food or the body is not getting sufficient amount of energy, the body has its own mechanism to use this glucose from different substances as well, right? Now glucose is carried to the cells through the bloodstream, okay? And several hormones including insulin is very much responsible in taking care of your glucose levels. We do have different types of glucose. Let us consider fructose or lactose, galactose, sucrose. तो ये जो सभी प्रकार के ग्लूकोज होते हैं, so these are like the different plethora of sources of energy for us. ठीक है? तो जो भी चीजें बेसिकली हम खाते हैं वो इवेंचुअली हमारे बॉडी में ग्लूकोज फॉर्म करती है, हमारे ब्लड स्ट्रीम में होती है, एंड ये हमारे बॉडी में शुगर लेवल्स को स्पाइक करता है. Mr. Shiv Kumar, I could read your message that you would want to hear us in Hindi. So we will talk in both the languages. हम हिंदी में भी बात करेंगे, इंग्लिश में भी करेंगे, ताकि आप सभी लोगों को सारी चीजें समझ जाएगी. ठीक है. तो एक मैं क्विकली ब्रीफ देती हूँ ग्लूकोज का. ग्लूकोज हमारे बॉडी का एनर्जी है. ग्लूकोज से हमारे बॉडी को ताकत मिलती है, हमारे सेल्स को एनर्जी मिलती है. एंड जो भी खाना हम खाते हैं दैट इवेंचुअली गेट्स कन्वर्टेड इनटू ग्लूकोज, जो आपके बॉडी का फूड है, जो आपके बॉडी की एनर्जी आपको प्रोवाइड करता है. ओके, आई होप आई एम क्लियर विद दिस. Next slide, please, Anuja. Understanding the hormones now. As I was mentioning about that, hormones plays a very crucial role in what to, when do you want to eat, when do you not want to eat. So it is very important for us to understand that how does hormone affects our eating patterns, or how does hormones are correlated with the food that we eat, or how much quantity that we eat. Okay, to start with, सबसे पहले हम बात करेंगे leptin के बारे में. So leptin is also called as a appetite suppressor hormone. Okay, so basically leptin क्या होता है? It is released from your fat cells and it signals your brain that you are full. For example, I had my meal, I'm eating something, so my leptin will give the signals to my brain that stop eating, you are done, you are full now, you don't want to eat more. Okay, so basically leptin communicates with the hypothalamus in your brain, which tells you whether you are hungry or you are full. Okay, I hope I'm clear to all of you. I'll just try to probably simplify this for all of us. If someone is, probably obese, okay, like if I am like in a very higher weight category, so in that case, maybe my body's leptin resistance is affected, and that will eventually affect through the signals that it gives to my brain. Like it will cause to leptin malfunctioning. I won't be getting a proper signal. Am I full? Am I hungry? So my eating patterns and my eating habits will be disturbed for that. Okay. So just to simplify the things for you, leptin is basically an appetite suppressor, and it will signal your body that you are full and you don't need to eat more as of now. Okay, that's about leptin hormone. Next we have about is ghrelin. Now ghrelin is known as a hunger hormone. Okay, it has the function exactly opposite of what we have of leptin. Like the way leptin tells us like you are full now, you don't need more food. So ghrelin tells us that you need food, probably you are hungry, and ghrelin is activated in the state of when you're hungry or when you're starving, it gets activated. So the production is stopped as the stomach stretches with sufficient food. For example, I'm hungry, my ghrelin levels are activated, hormone is activated, I eat some food. As soon as my stomach lining, my body gets some food, the ghrelin is deactivated, because then the signal to the brain does not go that yes, you are hungry, you would want to eat more. However, there's a twist in this. Okay, if for example I'm eating very sugary foods or carbohydrate rich foods, so that won't be giving a proper signal to my brain that yes, I am full and I should stop eating. And that is the reason when you eat lot of sugary foods, या जब आप बहुत ज़्यादा carbohydrate rich foods खाते हो, your body and your brain does not get that signal to stop when it is required. And eventually आपका जो intake होता है food का, it is on a higher side. It is a calorie rich diet that you go for, and that eventually results in high risk of weight gain and other metabolic disorders as well. On the contrary, if we eat a food which is rich in fiber, which is rich in protein, that will help us in stretching the stomach linings really well. Okay, and that will give a proper signal to your brain that yes, you need to stop now, you need to probably stop eating right now. And that is how it will help us to maintain our hormonal balance well, eventually helping us to control our eating patterns as well. Okay, also you all might be aware that cortisol is one very important hormone which affects our eating habits a lot. Okay, so cortisol is basically a stress hormone in our body. There's a direct correlation between the two. More the stress levels, more eating, we end up eating more. Okay, and basically if it is more of the cortisol levels in the body, we end up having and eating impulsively. That means we don't eat really mindfully what to eat, how much to eat, controlling the portion size. All these things are not a major part of that. Okay, so in order to manage your cortisol levels well, let us ensure that we are maintaining a good mental health, maintaining a good emotional health for ourselves. And even physical activity really helps you to manage your hormones well. So before I end with this particular slide, I'll give you some small tips to maintain and regulate your hormones. First is, let us ensure that we are eating healthy carbs. Okay, so let us ensure that we eat more of complex carbs in the diet. Then healthy snacking is very important, because that snacking option is something we end up eating. Maybe wafers kha liye, or dessert kuch kha liya, juice pee liya. So let us ensure that snacking is really healthy. Then exercise. So we have to ensure that exercise is very, very important for us, because exercise is that one thing which will help us to reduce our stress hormones, our cortisol levels, and will increase our healthy hormones like endorphins and happy hormones. Don't skip breakfast, as Anuja rightly mentioned in the before starting the session. Breakfast is very, very, very important, guys. Do not ever skip your breakfast. If you're not very hungry, maybe we can just reduce the quantity of it, but let's ensure that breakfast is one of the most important meal of the day, and we are not skipping that at all. Then again, maintaining healthy weight is very crucial for maintaining healthy hormonal level in the body. That's again very crucial. And something which is not very in the limelight, but especially vitamin D levels. So vitamin D levels again is very, very important to maintain your hormonal balance in the body. So probably you can just talk to your coach if you would want to get your vitamin D levels checked, and you can probably go ahead with that. But yes, do consult your coach with before going ahead with any test as of now. So these were the small quick tips that would help you to manage your hormones well. Let's go to the next slide, please. Yeah. Now I'll be giving you small tips to control the spikes. Now we saw that, okay, if the cortisol levels are more, the spikes are increasing, maybe the ghrelin is not working properly, maybe the leptin function is, it's like a malfunction of the leptin, which is not giving us proper signals to stop when to eat the food. So if we have all these things, a glucose spike is something which is getting, probably hit a lot. So in order to control those spikes, we can just quickly try to understand the small tips to manage and control them, right? Firstly, eat food in right order. I am super sure that your coach might be discussing and emphasizing this thing again and again and again and to all of you, right? So it's very important for us to understand that eating food in the right order is important. So it's not just what you are eating, but the order that you're eating plays a very crucial role. It again might probably vary from person to person. Like for me, maybe fiber helps the best if I start eating my food with fiber. But for Anuja, it might be protein, right? So let us understand what is best for us and accordingly go ahead with the meals that we eat. The second is reach out for vinegar before you eat. Now, this is again something which needs a disclaimer that do connect with your coach if this is required for you. Because if we take vinegar unnecessarily, it might lead to situations like hypoglycemia, that is reducing of your sugar levels below normal. Okay. So if, for example, if for any particular meal that I see, post lunch every day I have like major spike after consuming my meals. So if I have like apple cider vinegar in a probably 1 spoon diluted with some water before 15-20 minutes of the meal, it will actually help me to suppress the spikes that I have. So that is one important thing. Next is, after you eat, move. Now this is again very, very important, because more the sedentary lifestyle that we have, poorer the glucose levels that we have. Better the lifestyle, better the insulin sensitivity for us. So let us ensure that even if some days that we are probably not able to walk, or some days when we could not have a proper physical activity for ourselves, at least we go for those small walks around after our meals. So even those small movement will help us to control our spikes. Go for savory snacks, okay? Like let's not go for more of sweets and desserts. Always go for something like we can go for a roasted makhana or a roasted chana, something like this. So let's not probably try to consume more calories through the sugars and the desserts that are around us. And lastly, all sugars are the same. Now, this is super important for us to understand, whether it's dextrose, maltose, lactose, corn syrup, honey syrup, sugar, fruit juices, मे whatever the name be, ठीक है? आपको फूड प्रोडक्ट्स पे शुगर नहीं लिखा होगा शायद हर बार, आपको ये सारे अलग-अलग नाम दिखेंगे। फ्रुक्टोज है तो भी शुगर है, माल्टोडेक्सट्रोज है तो भी शुगर है, कॉर्न सिरप है तो भी शुगर है, मोलासेस है तो भी शुगर है। So may what? Sugars are all the same. So let us understand that it is not like, okay, I'm not eating white sugar, but I'm having jaggery with my tea. Does not matter. Eventually आपका sugar spike होना ही है उसके बाद. right? So let us understand that all sugars are same and try to avoid it as much as possible. Yeah.
Okay, so going ahead, we have also added one video to tell you guys how your sugars are impacting your brain. So first thing, before discussing on particularly this topic, I want to know from you guys, do you feel that your elevated or spiked sugar has any impact on your brain? Maybe you're feeling fatigue, or you're feeling more of cravings, you're feeling a little bit more hunger than usual. Anything of this happens with you? Feel sluggish, yes, I can see that. More cravings, yes. That is because your sugars are spiking up, and that is having an impact on your brain. In simple terms, if I have to make this for you. So basically, to give you a simple example, imagine, let's say, what happens in our brain. All packaged food, as Radhika said rightly, has hidden sugars. Okay. They market it as they don't have any sugar or no sugar or less sugar, anything like that you can see on the packaged food. But it has sucralose, it has lactose, it has maltose, it has dextrose, it has starches, it has high fructose, corn syrup, raw sugar, honey, jaggery. Everything that you eat as a sugar is going to hamper your spikes. It is just not added in your sweets and candies. It is also added in the products, which we usually eat. Maybe a ketchup with the breakfast is our go-to option. With having a chila, let's say, or with having a dosa, we usually go with the ketchup. Why? Because it's easy for us, but it has hidden sugars into it. Yogurts nowadays are very famous for the protein intake and the breakfast options. But are we choosing the right yogurt? Why? Because yogurt also comes up with the flavored versions, and it has hidden sugars into it, even if they say no sugar added. Then all the dry fruits. Why I mentioned this dry fruits here is I'm giving you some examples of hidden sugars. Okay. Dry fruits, basically, what we think of dry fruits is dry figs, dried cranberries, dry apricots, all those things. But these are coated with sugar, right? And what we see as we suggest you as nuts is almonds and walnuts, right? But that has to be only roasted, not coated with anything again, because that may also have a hidden sugar. And our cereal grains right now, which we are getting very easily, maybe a cornflakes or muesli or granulas, all these things, these also have hidden sugar. So if I summarize all these things in one simple term, is sugar is everywhere. शुगर सब जगह पे है, हमारे कैंडीज में है, हमारे डेजर्ट्स में है, हमारे योगर्ट्स में है, सिंपल हमारे जो हम टोमेटो केचप खाते हैं उसमें है, सब जगह पे शुगर्स है. So is it important? It is important for us to understand what is happening to our brain when the sugars are going high. Does eating one, let's say, a dessert will make you crave for more dessert? What do you feel? Will make you crave for more dessert? You can just drop yes or no into the chat section. That's completely fine. Yes, I'll give you a little example. Let's say हमने कुछ dessert खाया. We had a small piece of sweet that contains sweet taste, and that will give signal to your sweet taste receptors in your tongue, which will then send signal to your brain, where the brain processes this different taste. Our brain processes different tastes. Sour ho jaye, sweet ho jaye, spicy ho jaye. These are the tests which we usually eat, and our brain has that particular area to process these tastes. The sweet taste process gets activated when we give sweet to our tongue first, जो हमारे brain को पता चल जाता है, and then our brain will start converting that one piece of sweet into the reward system, where you will crave for that particular food more. Okay? So when you eat small piece of sugar, or when you have small piece of dessert, there are chances, if your sugars are not stable, it is spiking or going too low, that can lead to more and more demanding or reward function of having that particular one thing. Okay, and overacting of this reward system, why I'm mentioning it as reward system, because it is a reward for our body. that we are enjoying that particular food and we are craving for that. So overacting this reward system is very harmful in many ways. So I would just like to throw a light on what ways these things can hamper our body. Okay, so these are some short-term effects which I have listed here of how your sugar spikes leads to, let's say, first, let's go to cravings as we are discussing about it. So I'll just discuss about it. If you have any queries, guys, keep on posting in the chat windows. Okay, so cravings. When our blood sugar levels are unstable, हमारी sugars जब stable नहीं है, when these are unstable, we experience more food cravings. Okay, what do you think? आपको ऐसा होता है कभी कि when your sugars are high and you say कि नहीं आज बहुत खाने का मन कर रहा है. Usually we also ask to our users, I guess, Radhika, that are you feeling more hungry because your sugars are going high? Because we know the science behind it. Yes, they must be feeling hungry because of the sugars, but usually you all guys will not be aware of कि अगर sugars high भी जाते हैं, you will feel more of hunger, and that will lead to cravings of high carbohydrate foods, high starchy foods, high sugar foods. When our blood sugar level drops, second scenario, when our blood sugar level drops, our body will release the hormones that Radhika was talking, ghrelin, right? Which signals our brain that it's time to eat. But that time we have to make sure what choices we are making. If the ghrelin is sending signal to our brain that it's time to eat, we should be choosing the right amount of carbohydrate, right type of carbohydrate, and not adding any sugary or sweet things into that particular meal to avoid the further craving or hunger pain. Okay. On the other hand, if your blood sugar levels are going on the high side, our body is insulin resistant. That means our body is no longer responding to the insulin the way it should be responding. This can cause our blood sugar levels to remain on the higher side, leading to more cravings of sugary and starchy foods. Okay, so what we have to make sure, we say, mostly we guide our clients on mindful eating. Why we use this mindful word is basically whatever you are eating, it has to be chosen well. What type of carbohydrate you are eating, what are you balancing it with? And I guess on the last session, we discussed covering up your carbohydrates with other things. That is important here, so that we will be able to flatten those sugar curves and there will be no further cravings. Okay. Then, yes, the third scenario is stress. Stress can cause our blood sugar levels to spike, which will lead to more cravings of high carbohydrate food. This is because stress triggers the release of cortisol hormone, which Radhika was talking about, which will increase the blood sugar levels ultimately. And when we eat high carbohydrate food, it temporarily reduces our, let's say, stress levels, because having a sugary food is related to release of dopamine hormone. Dopamine is a happy hormone. So temporarily it releases dopamine hormone in your body, and then you feel a little bit relaxed. But then after some time, you will again feel that anxiety and stress coming up. Okay, this is also one reason your brain and sugar levels are connected with each other. So let's say if I have to conclude the craving part, blood sugar level plays a significant role in, our food cravings. When our body sugar levels are unstable, हमारे body के sugar levels जब unstable रहेंगे, वो हमारी sugar, let's say hunger, हमारा high carbohydrate intake, food का intake, ये सारी चीजें side by side बढ़ाते रहेंगे, और इसका धीरे धीरे हमारे ब्रेन केमिस्ट्री पे, हमारे गट बैक्टीरिया पे, हमारे स्ट्रेस लेवल्स पे इम्पैक्ट होता रहेगा. तो ये सारी चीजों को मेंटेन करने के लिए, हमारे फूड क्रेविंग्स को मेंटेन करने के लिए, हमको इम्पोर्टेंट क्या है कि हम बैलेंस डाइट ले, कॉम्प्लेक्स कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स खाए, अच्छे से प्रोटीन के साथ उसको इनकॉर्पोरेट करें, गुड अमाउंट ऑफ फाइबर हमारे डाइट में हो, हेल्दी फैट्स हमारे डाइट में हो, और कोई भी स्वीट चीज जिसमें हिडन शुगर्स भी हो, जैसे हमने मेंशन किया, उसको एज मच एज पॉसिबल हम उसको अवॉइड करें. एडिशनली यहाँ पे हमको क्या करना है, हम रेगुलर एक्सरसाइज करें. ठीक है, मैंने पढ़ा था, someone was asking about how to manage the stress or how to manage the cortisol levels. It is basically, you just have to manage your stress levels. जैसे आप कर सकते हो meditation से, some yoga, some deep breathing exercises. These things will help you manage your stress levels so that वो cortisol का activity ज्यादा ना हो जाए, and that will not lead to high hunger pangs, and that you will not end up having high carbohydrate food that day. और सबसे important, which we sometimes forget accounting to, is अच्छे से हमारी नींद पूरी हो, good quality sleep we should be getting. These all things together will help us reduce our food cravings for sure. ठीक है, आगे जाते हैं. सेकंड जो मैंने यहाँ पे मेंशन किया है chronic fatigue. Second one is chronic fatigue. So you also must have come across with such clients, Radhika. Many of our clients comes up saying the major symptoms that they are facing when the HbA1c is increased fatigueness and tiredness. They don't feel like doing anything throughout the day. उनका घर के काम भी नहीं हो पाते उनसे at a point. This much fatigue they feel. So what happens in our mitochondria level, we have to understand that well. You feel too tired, you are unable to pick anything. Let's say एक छोटा सा बैग हो ग्रोसरी से भरा हुआ, कभी कभी हम वो नहीं उठा पाते, right? That is because our mitochondria के यहाँ पे we are stressed a lot, and the mitochondria which generates the energy to overcome all these things is not working well due to the high sugar spikes. So here also it is important कि अगर उसका long term effect हमारे body पे ना आए, if we do not want any long term effect of that particular energy levels, we have to make sure flattening our sugar levels so that हमारा fatigueness और हमारा tiredness पूरी तरीके से कम हो जाएगा, and it will not worsen further ahead. Okay. Third short term effect we can see in our due to the blood sugar rise in our brain is poor sleep. Very common concern again in our clients. Sleep disturbance बहुत होता है, बीच बीच में नींद खुलती है, ये सारी चीजें हम complaints में सुनते हैं mostly. This is very common symptom of dysregulated glucose that is waking up suddenly us in the midnight. Okay, तो कभी भी हो, let's say if you are waking up at 4 a.m. also, that can be because हमारा dysregulated glucose है, हमारे sugars अच्छे से काम नहीं कर रहे. It might be ये बहुत ऊपर जा रहे, high जा रहे, या नहीं तो बहुत कम जा रहे. This is happening because of your sugar levels. So you have to make sure before going to bed, your sugars levels has to be in the normal range. There should be no high carbohydrate meal in that case before going to bed, so that your sugars will not wake you up during the midnight. Okay. Very important thing to note कि अगर हमारे sugars let's say ज्यादा जा रहे हैं and उसकी वजह से हमारी नींद पूरी नहीं हो पा रही है, खुल रही है, जो भी हो, ठीक है, हमको यहाँ पे क्या मेक श्योर करना है, हम कोई भी हाई कार्बोहाइड्रेट मील डिनर के टाइम पे ना ले, सो दैट हमारा शुगर लेवल मेंटेन रहे और हम रात में बीच में शुगर स्पाइक की वजह से ना उठे. ठीक है. The fourth is migraine. Yes, this is one thing which we don't understand that it is happening in our studies that suggest, women with insulin resistance has twice as likely to get the migraine as compared to women who don't have any insulin resistance. And migraine ज़्यादातर women में देखा जाता है as compared to men. Okay, so without lowering your sugar spikes, हम अगर sugar spikes पे काम नहीं करेंगे, it damages our blood vessels and our brain nerves again, जो धीरे धीरे ये headache बढ़ाते जाते हैं. Okay, so that is why reducing the sugar spike or flattening the sugar spike is again important. Fifth and very rare symptom which is seen in the short term effect is memory and cognitive function. It is very easy to eat a sweet that is giving you an energy boost you are looking for, but it turns off the spike that affects your brain power. बहुत आसान है कोई भी चीज उठा के सिंपली खा लेना बिकॉज हमको एनर्जी चाहिए, थोड़ा सा लो एनर्जी फील हो रहा है, थोड़ा सा गुड़ उठा के मैंने खा लिया, बट इट इज एट अ पॉइंट इज हैम्परिंग योर ब्रेन का सिस्टम, ब्रेन का फंक्शनिंग, इट इज हैम्परिंग. इट turns that the big sugar spikes affects your memory and cognitive function majorly. Okay, other reason is sugar spikes are harmful because it affects certain neurometers into your brain. ओके ये न्यूरोमीटर्स को डायरेक्टली हैम्पर कर सकती है, विच कैन फर्दर, अगर वैसे ही शुगर स्पाइक्स चलती रहे, which can further lead to memory loss and impaired cognitive function, and on the extremity it can lead to dementia as well. ठीक है? So these things are very important to look at when it comes to, if you are having this short-term effects of your blood sugar spike, start focusing on your blood sugar then and there, so that हम उसको long-term effects में ना cover करें. Now I'll tell you what all the long-term effects of your sugar spikes. Only two. First is Alzheimer's and dementia, as we told. Of all our organs in our body, brain uses most of the energy. Okay. It's home of, it is a home of many mitochondria. Mitochondria का घर is brain, और हमारी brain ज्यादा से ज्यादा, सबसे ज्यादा एनर्जी हमारी brain यूटिलाइज करता है. With repeated glucose spike, बहुत frequent glucose spike आने की वजह से हमारे brains के जो neurons है उस पे भी stress आता है, which will lead to neuroinflammation and eventually cognitive dysfunction, जिससे इन्फ्लामेशन, न्यूरोइन्फ्लामेशन बढ़ने के चांसेस होते हैं और हमारे कॉग्निटिव डिसफंक्शन बढ़ जाता है. Okay, so most of our clients, let's say, basically what I have read over here, this is type 2 diabetes users are 4 times more likely to develop Alzheimer's as compared to non-diabetic. Some articles, or let's say some things, are focusing Alzheimer's as a type 3 as well. ठीक है. So हमको यहाँ पे क्या ध्यान देना है? Poor glucose control is directly associated with deficit of memory and learning. अगर शुगर कंट्रोल कम है तो हमारा मेमोरी और हमारा कॉन्सेंट्रेशन, हमारा लर्निंग, हमारा कॉग्निटिव डिसफंक्शन, ये सारी चीजें हैम्पर होने वाली है. बट द पॉजिटिव साइन टुवर्ड्स दिस इज, जैसे कि बाकी के डायबिटीज के सिम्टम्स है, फटीगनेस हो गया, टायर्डनेस हो गया, फ्रीक्वेंट यूरिनेशन हो गया, ये जो कॉमन सिम्टम्स हम रिवर्सिबल है ये कहते हैं, दिस इज पॉसिबल to reverse this cognitive dysfunction and all these things which we are talking about with the good sugar balance. Okay, and the last one is depressive episodes. Yes, this is very important. Your brain does not have any sensory nerves, so when something goes wrong in your brain, it can't alert you with any pain like our other organs do. बाकी के हमारा, let's say हमारा पेट दर्द कर रहा है, हमको पता चलता है there is something wrong in our stomach, right? But if there is something wrong in our brain, it is not giving us any alert that okay, I am not doing well. So we have to focus on that. Instead you feel mental disturbance there. थोड़ा सा मूड हमारा खराब हो जाता है. We start getting angry on very small things, which we nowadays focus as mood swings. So we also ask our clients like how often you feel angry. Why we ask this question is to know if there is impact of sugar levels on your moods or not. Okay, so when people eat diet that leads to erratic glucose levels, these symptoms get worsened. There are more depressive episodes, there are more mood swings as compared to your steadily glucose levels. So ये जो symptoms हमने अभी short term long term discuss किए, yes, first thing I would like to give you one positive side is, yes, we can work on these things, but again, bringing your sugars down is the only way to work on all these symptoms. ठीक है? Okay, so I guess this was too much of information, I feel, with this short term and long term. Are you guys, overwhelmed or बहुत ज़्यादा confusion हो रहा है, ऐसा कुछ? Anyone, you can just message us that, is it a little bit clear to you how your sugars are impacting your brain? A little confusion. Yes, we will share this slide with you, okay, so that you will understand कि कहाँ पे है. And you just have to focus. Whoever is confused here, you just have to focus कि हमको sugars normal में लाने हैं, then everything is going to be well. Okay? Now let's go to the quiz, Radhika. Great.
Sure,
So
Anuja.
it's quiz. Your fingers has to be on your keyboards because we will be looking at the messages. Whatever answers you feel like, just drop that answer in the chat box. So here comes the first question. which of these is not a hunger hormone? We just learned it today. Which of these is not the hormone? Yes, insulin. I can see many of the people are listening as well today. Many of them answered very well. Yes, insulin is not the hunger hormone. Ghrelin and leptin is, as Radhika explained as well in the start of the session. Moving ahead with the question 2. Okay, find the odd man out. Okay, I guess we have made this question a little bit tricky. Yes, whoever is messaging A is, I guess, right. The odd man out is hunger here. We saw the short-term effects of sugars on our brain was craving and poor sleep, and the long-term effect is depressive episodes. So yes, hunger is the odd man out here. Great. Okay, going to the third. Which of the below food is a good source of omega-3 fatty acids? C. Flax seeds. Great. So yes, see, flax seeds is a good source of omega-3 fatty acids, and this is important for balancing out our meals. You should be knowing the right fat, and you should be avoiding the saturated fat here. This is what we have to message here. Anything you want to add here, Radhika?
Am I audible? Yeah. So basically, we had these questions in the chat section as well, Anuja, that what are the sources of good fats and what exactly is a healthy fat? So I just mentioned the same thing. Any sort of, healthy nuts and seeds are a good source of, like your healthy fats in the body. And it is not just essential for your heart health, but, it has a lot of cosmetic benefits as well. It is good for your hair, good for your skin. And eventually, as Mr. Sridhar had mentioned, that he feels energetic by the end of the day. So even incorporating these things in the diet actually helps us to feel really energetic by the end of the day. So these are like, lower calorie, energy dense foods, I would say, So basically it's not exactly, I would say, lower calories. It has some calories, but then it is something which will provide you with a good amount of energy. So it's a beautiful way to add in your diet.
Yes, you can add it as a snack, whosoever is thinking that what are the foods which will give us not any spike or which will help us flattening the curve after a large meal is some healthy nuts or seeds which will not give you a larger spike as compared to the carbohydrates. Okay. Here is the fourth question. Which nutrient is the building block for our brain? A little bit tricky, but I think you should be knowing the answer. Yeah. Many people know the answer. Yes, it's proteins and amino acids because
Anuja, can we reshare
majorly.
PPT?
Sorry, Neha?
Can we reshare the PPT or remove these marks from the PPT?
Yeah, hold a second. I'll do that. Okay. Is it clear now?
Yes.
It's clear, Anuja.
Okay. So yes, many people know the answer. Yes, the proteins and amino acids is the right answer because that will be taking care of the major. Okay, again the marks has come over.
Make me the host. I will do that.
Okay, Radhika, can you make her the host? So, yes, the B is correct. Let's move to next question. Till that, I'll just. Yes. How much percent of energy resources our brain uses from our daily calorie intake? What do you think? How much percent of the daily calorie intake energy is getting used by the brain? I can see only one right answer in the chat box. Yeah, 20 second. Okay. So this is a tricky question. We feel that, as we said, the brain uses, all of the brain has good amount of energy, but it only needs 20% of our daily energy intake. Okay. So if we say the carbohydrate is the main part or the main source of brain, and that is why in the every meal we only restrict it to 20 to 25%. This is the reason behind that, because our brain only needs 20% of the calories throughout the day, which will be taken care in the lesser amount of carbs as well. Going ahead. Okay. What is the main source of energy to your brain? Okay, I already answered it, I guess. Yes, carbohydrates. I already answered this answer in the previous question while explaining to you guys, but yeah, my bad. Okay, and the last question is, what causes a rapid spike in your blood sugar? Many right answers. B, yes, starches causes a high spike in your blood sugar, as we discussed. Yes, complex carbohydrates will not cause that much spike as compared to starches. You have to choose the right carbohydrates, which I am emphasizing on while explaining to you the short-term and long-term effects. Emphasize on complex carbohydrates and avoid having starches, glucose, and the hidden sugars all the time. That is what our agenda was today to explain you, because the sugar spikes has the impact on your brain. And anything you want to add, Radhika? Because I guess this was the last question we had. Am I audible?
Atika, are you able to unmute yourself now?
Yeah, now I'm able to unmute myself.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you just pardon yourself, Anuja, please?
I was just saying, many people are adding here that complex carbohydrates can lead to rapid spikes. So I just was explaining them that is what we are emphasizing on today, to choose complex carbohydrate over starches and all the hidden sugars. That's why I ask anything you want to add here.
Yeah. So basically, what my take here is, Anuja, that people feel that carbohydrates are like the villain of their, life as of now. So they feel that, okay, carbs hata do to sab sahi ho jayega. So let us understand, guys, that carbohydrates are not bad. Please don't make carbohydrates your villain at all, right? So basically, whatever food that we eat, let's consider dal, rice, and sabzi ka combination. That's a very beautiful comfort food that we most of us like eating, right? Even if you eat just dal, maybe the absorption won't be great. If you eat just rice absorption won't be that great. But अगर आप सही कॉम्बिनेशन में खाते हो, दाल लिया, राइस लिया, उसमें आपने 1 स्पून घी डाला, आपने थोड़ी सब्जी ऐड की, that's a beautiful combination to consume. And it will not just give you the most nutritional benefit, but आपके बॉडी में उसका absorption बहुत अच्छे से होता है, right? So basically, carbohydrates are not bad. Carbohydrates are not your villain for sure. It is important how much portion that you choose. अगर आपकी थाली आपके सामने है, आपकी थाली में कार्बोहाइड्रेट कितना है? आपके थाली में अगर 5 रोटी और आधी कटोरी सब्जी है, तो फिर कार्ब्स बुरे हैं आपके लिए फॉर श्योर। पर वही फिर जस्ट बैलेंसिंग योर मील, having maybe 1 or max 2 chapati, having enough amount of proteins, having enough amount of vegetables in your thali, that is a beautiful way to have. So basically, simple carbs, आपका जैसा मैदा हो गया, आपके सारी तली हुई चीजें हो गई, सब चीजें बुरी है। You can go for roti, you can go for rice, you can go for jawar, bajra, millets, ragi. ये सभी चीजें आप ले सकते हो। आपके वेजिटेबल्स में कार्ब्स होता है, फ्रूट्स में होता है। So these are your complex carbs basically, which is good for you. We had a lot of mixed answers, Anuja, throughout the session, but yes, most of the answers were quite correct. And that is, really good to see that how attentive people were throughout the session.
The session. Yes, happy to know that. So I guess we answered your question, Sachin, Anandji, that what all the sources of complex carbohydrates, all the millets, grains, your veggies and fruits, all these sources of complex carbohydrates. Yeah.
Yeah.
Complex carbs include rice. Yes, it does.
Is milk bad for diabetes, Anuja?
Okay.
Mr. Kool is asking. Yeah.
So as we said, one sugar we talked about today is lactose. I mentioned it, which is coming from your milk. Okay. So if that is giving you a spike, that can give you a spike, that cannot give, like it depends on person to person. But if that lactose is giving you a spike, lactose coming from the milk, there is a good choice to avoid having milk into your diet. But though you can include other milk products like curd and buttermilk, because that has lesser amount of lactose as compared to milk, and that is good for your gut. So you can go ahead with adding that. So someone is asking, Malti ji is asking, is oatmeal a complex carbs? So yes, oatmeal comes into complex carbs, but if you're talking about 2 minutes oats, I am not in for that, because you can check it has preservatives, it has added sugar at some time to improvise the taste. So if you are talking about plain rolled oats and you're making the breakfast out of it, you can go ahead with it. Again, combine it with good amount of protein and fiber to not get a spike.
I have a beautiful question here, Anuja. So, Mr. Deepak is asking tea with 2 biscuits. Now, this is a very common question that we hear. And, not just like right now on the session, but even our near and dear ones, our family members. अच्छा, एक ही तो बिस्किट खा रहे हैं. चाय के साथ 2 बिस्किट ही तो ले रहे हैं. So, let us probably have a broader perspective for these people. Like, if today हमने आज 2 बिस्किट खाए हैं, so understand by the end of the month, you will end up having around around 60 biscuits. एंड बाय द ईयर एंड्स आपके ऑलमोस्ट 760 बिस्किट्स हो जाते हैं. सो अगर आप 2 बिस्किट कंसिडर करो आज, दैट इज अ वेरी स्मॉल क्वांटिटी, अग्री. बट इफ यू लुक इनटू अ ब्रॉडर पिक्चर, दो बिस्किट करके बाय द एंड ऑफ द मंथ या साल के आखिर में आप कितने बिस्किट्स खा लेते हो, उसका कोई हमारे पास काउंट नहीं होता है. सो फॉर श्योर, सी वंस इन अ वाइल कभी आपने खा लिए, ऐसा नहीं कि आप जिंदगी भर उसको टच ही मत करो. आई अंडरस्टैंड वंस इन अ वाइल वी माइट एंड अप हैविंग इट, बट नॉट लेट मेक इट अ रूटीन कि चलो having tea with 2 biscuits, no need, not required at all, right? We can preferably go with maybe some roasted makhanas or some roasted khakra. So those are the preferable options to go for it. Okay. So even if it's like 2 biscuits a day, not really good, Deepak ji. I hope I'm clear with the answer. And Monica Taneja is asking some weight loss tips. Now, this is a very broader perspective how to go for a weight loss. First, let's try to understand the reason for your weight gain, if in case it's there. Okay. How many kgs are we overweight? When did we start putting on the weight? Is it the stress eating that we are doing, or is it the sedentary lifestyle that we are having? Let's try to understand the cause of it. Let's try to understand the root cause analysis of that. And then preferably we can give you better solutions. आपको एक्सरसाइज ज़्यादा करनी है, या आपको कैलोरी डेफिसिट डाइट लेना है, आपको प्रोटीन्स इंक्रीज करना है, कार्ब्स कम करना है. So it has to be very individualized. So Miss Monica, I suggest please connect with your coach and try to understand the reasons, probable reasons of your weight gain, and then we can probably look ahead for some weight loss solutions for you.
Yes, I can see a good question here. What about muesli? So my take on this cereals would be, guys, we have enough Indian complex carbohydrates. We have upma, we have rava, we have poha. We just have to eat it in the right way. So there is no need of adding this easily available cereals, because it has preservatives, it has hidden sugars. You can read the ingredients. There must be any sweetener written, maltodextrins, let's say. All these things should be mentioned there. So I suggest, let us stick to our basic traditional foods and modify it with the good amount of protein and fibers. That's a good idea to have a healthy and long life. Then again, Anandya is asking, Java spikes my sugar levels. So Anandya, try some different combinations of millets. Find out which is not spiking your sugar levels, and then you can combine your choice of millets and stick to that for your rotis and millets.
We have another good question, Anuja. ज़्यादा खाना खा लिया तो हमें क्या करना चाहिए?
See,
Please, yeah,
go
please go
ahead,
ahead.
go ahead. So simple, I usually give this example to my users is, ज़्यादा खाना खा लिया तो ज़्यादा walk करना चाहिए. If you are giving extra fuel to your body, you have to utilize that extra fuel then and there. Right. So this is what I explain. Your take on that would be also an insightful thing for the clients.
Yeah, so firstly I believe let us try to eat mindfully, है ना. पहली चीज के let us ensure कि चाहे हम घर पे खा रहे हो बाहर खा रहे हो, जैसे आपने लिखा फंक्शन में ज्यादा खा लिया, So firstly, कभी भी आप functions में अगर जाते हैं, so that's a very beautiful way to manage your meals is before going or before leaving the house, let us ensure कि you're having something, you know. By the time you reach the function, you meet the guest around, तब तक आपको बहुत भूख लग जाती है and you end up overeating. That is something we want to avoid. So in order to avoid a lot of eating or wrong eating in the functions and marriages and parties around, let us ensure before leaving the house, we're having a good fiber and, you know, protein rich food at home right then and there before leaving the house, and then preferably carry on with whatever activities that you would want to go, so that वहाँ पे पहुँच के you don't eat the wrong food or you don't end up eating more than what is required for your body. So that's a very simple but effective way of managing it.
I can see one more question. Is besan a complex carb? So besan comes under lentils and pulses, and we tell it as a lentil carbs. It is not a complex carbs, but yes, it is healthier carbohydrate source or protein source for you as compared to other starches and everything. Yeah.
So girls, I just want to take it over there. Now, to make it very simple for you, there are two types of carbs. One is the simple carbs, one is the complex carbs. What is simple carbs? Anything that comes from the fruits is a simple carb. Again, anything that comes from the refined flour, maida, which is very fine grain. Complex carbs means whole grains, which is having a whole grain, like, you know, complete grain can be visible. Like jawar, you can see a whole grain. Like wheat, you can see a whole grain. But when we grind it, we make it like processed, it becomes a simple carbs, right? So anything which is simple carbs is basically your refined flour, which has powdered form. Anything which is still coarse is the whole grain. So the one whole grain is the millets. All millets are whole grains. Secondly, your rice is a whole grain. If you talk about the other side, the Bengal gram flour, the Bengal gram, the roasted chana is a whole grain. But when we talk about the Bengal gram flour in the flour form, it's a refined flour because it has been processed. So the simple way of identifying to not to confuse yourself, anything which is in the whole form is a complex carb, which is in the refined form is a simple carbs. Now in the wheat, it's still considered into the whole grains, but it is a refined product for sure because it is being processed. Which is processed is a refined product. So we need to be very careful what can give you the more spike. If you eat the whole food, like pulses, if we eat the sprouts, the dal will give a bit of spike, but the sprouts will give less spike because they are whole. They will take time to digest in the system and release the glucose. Anything which takes time to digest and release the glucose is a complex carbs because it is taking time to digest. Anything which will immediately release the glucose in your stomach in your bloodstream is the simple carbs. So just understand through this. Okay. I hope I have simplified it because people will keep on asking. Now, the question was asked related to the muesli. Muesli is a completely processed food. So this gives a drastic spike whenever you eat. So muesli we don't give. And even when we talk about the variety of oats, there is a masala oats, which is completely processed, lot of salt and lot of processing being done. It's completely no because it gives a drastic spike. It's not healthy for our body and it's not supplying us any nutrients. Secondly, steel cut oats. It's good for us. And then rolled oats, good for us because they are not processed. They have just cut it down by using the steel cutter. The best one, steel cut. Second is the rolled oats. They have just rolled it. Sorry. So that's another best quality. But when we talk about the dalia, still better, but it is also processed. They are going through a lot of processing. Same way when we talk about the oils are also processed and unprocessed. If you use the cold press oil, it's more raw, it's more easy to use, and it's more healthy because it has all the essential fats. When we talk about the processed oils, refined oil, they have removed all the essential oils from them. They have been processing it to look more good and appealing to our eyes. Anything which gives, makes more look, more appealing or more beautiful, it's something which has been processed multiple times. So one is the raw, second is the cold press. They have just pressed it under the wood press and taken out extracted the oil. And that's why it is expensive because it doesn't completely extract everything from the grains and the source. But when we use the refined, they have been squeezing it, taking it through the different processes to extract more oil. But then in that process, they lose completely all the ingredients. Even the complex carbohydrates, when you keep grinding it in a mixture continuously, becomes processed because you have been processing it. Anything which whole takes time to digest and doesn't even spike. So I hope you can understand and now clear how to identify the complex and the processed and the simple carbs and why the simple carbs gives them more spike. Over to you, Anuja and Radhika. This concept was very important to make them understand because this is the basic. And if they don't understand the complex and simple carbs, I think they won't be able to stop the spikes.
Yes. So yeah, there were many questions which, I can see many questions coming on tea. 2 to 3 times it has come in our chat window that having a tea is good with the breakfast or after before the food. So my take on tea would be, see, tea has one character called as tannins, if I explain you in the simple term. This tannins has directly interlinked with your protein absorption, protein and vitamin absorption, which is important in our body right now. So having a tea before or having any food or with any food or with any, even if you're having a handful of nuts and you're having it with the tea, is not going to help because whatever protein is coming from that nut is not getting beneficial to our body. Okay, so try and avoid the caffeine basically and the tea and coffee products with the meal, especially if being an Indian, we know that there are people who cannot live without tea, or they say, "Arey, tea nahi piya to kuch nahi ho sakta," right? So keep a gap of at least 30 to 35 minutes in your meal, but first have your meal and then go for the tea. Don't drink tea first and then go with the meal. Have your meal. If you're hungry, eat. Don't suppress your hunger with the tea. If you're hungry, eat. And अगर चाहिए तो चाय पियो, नहीं तो ignore करो. ठीक है? Anything you can see, Radhika, any more questions?
Yeah, I could see a question of apple cider vinegar, right? So basically, I would just repeat for all of you that apple cider coach and the time of apple cider vinegar you cannot decide on your own. Okay, I could read a question: can I have it after the meal if I skip it before the meal, or दिन में कितने बार लेना है? So अगर हम एप्पल साइडर विनेगर को सही मात्रा में और सही समय पे नहीं लेते हैं, उससे हमारा शुगर लेवल ज़रूरत से ज़्यादा कम हो सकता है, ठीक है? इन ऑर्डर टू अवॉइड दैट, लेट अस एंश्योर आप अपने हेल्थ कोच से बात कीजिए, उनसे पूछिए कि आपको एप्पल साइडर विनेगर लेने की ज़रूरत है क्या? इफ़ येस, कौन से समय पे पूछने के बाद कितने क्वांटिटी में? ओके, सो दीज़ थिंग्स हैज़ टू बी वेरी इंडिविजुअलाइज्ड. Maybe for example, for me, apple cider vinegar really is very amazing, but maybe it does not suit Anuja, right? So understand, everything cannot be a very generic answer here. Let us go in the depth and very in the individualized and personalized manner. आप अपने कोच से बात करके अपना एप्पल साइडर विनेगर का डोज आप प्लीज कंज्यूम कीजिए, ठीक है?
Yes, I was seeing one question with cranberries. So just wanted to make sure, clear here. Having a dried cranberries is not a good option because it is coated with sugar. You can go with fresh cranberries, that is fine. As a fruit, you can go with fresh cranberries in your whatever quota your fruit you are eating. That is completely fine, but don't go with dried cranberries because it is coated with a lot of sugar.
The question, Anuja, that due to the heat, people are not able to go out for a walk. You can do the stair activity, you can do the nitric oxide dump. These both are very relevant and very effective exercises that can reduce your blood sugar readings, and you can do it even if you're in office. I ask my clients to go to the lift area and do the nitric oxide dump and come back to their room, or they can do in the room or the conference hall itself. It's all about the will issue. If you have a will, you can do anything.
So recently, what I have read over this walk, Neha was talking about walk. What I have read over this walk is, even if you try and walk every hour 2,000 to 3,000 steps in a home only, okay, that will also keep your metabolism up on a good rate, and that will not lead to any sugar spike as such in a day. So even if you're not going out, try to find these solutions. Whenever you're talking on the phone, just walk in your place. Whenever you're watching your series or watching your serials, just stand up and walk at place. So these things you can do to keep yourself active.
We have a question of Herbalife protein shake over here. As a nutritionist, as an individual, I would never ever ask you to go for some products which are like, substitute for your meals. Okay. And majorly when it comes to Herbalife protein shakes, these are like the substitute for your meal. See, if required, maybe for any XYZ thing, we could probably go for a little more amount of protein to incorporate in the diet. But having a protein shake, having a full meal supplement as a glass of smoothie and not having your meal is not a very good way to consume it. These products can surely give you short term results. You might see some changes in your weight. You might see कि आपका waist size कम हो गया है, आपके inches lose हो गए, आपका weight कम हो गया है. Trust me, the way it has been reduced, it will increase with a better and a more faster rate than that. So there is no compensation कि आप ये मत खाओ, खाने के बदले आप supplement ले लो, आप दवाई ले लो. Your meal is a source of energy to your body. Okay, your food is what exactly you are. It is like the fuel to your body. ठीक है. बिना पेट्रोल के गाड़ी कितने दिन चलेगी? एक दिन, 2 दिन, 3 दिन पेट्रोल खत्म हो जाएगा, फिर आप क्या करोगे? नहीं चल पाओगे, राइट? गाड़ी नहीं चल पाएगी. सेम थिंग इज विद द बॉडी. जब तक बॉडी को नरिशमेंट मिलेगा, जब तक आप बॉडी को फ्यूल अप करोगे अच्छे न्यूट्रिएंट्स के साथ, इट विल वर्क फॉर यू. द डे यू स्टॉप फ्यूलिंग योर बॉडी, it will start showing you the results of that or the symptoms of that slowly and gradually. Let us avoid anything which is not good for our health. Also regarding fruits, Shilpa has asked when to take the fruits. Again, fruits can be majorly consumed during maybe mid-morning or mid-evening snacks. Try to avoid fruit as a first thing in the morning because that can eventually lead to some major spike again for you. So we can preferably take it fruit in the mid-mornings or mid-evening hours. And still, if you see that there are some spikes post that, you can actually sprinkle some chia seeds, flax seeds, pumpkin seeds on your fruits and you can consume it that way. That will help us to lower the spike.
I can see one question here, how to do nitric oxide exercise in the office. So we have an option to it. You can do sitting calf raises, which we called as soleus push-up. While you're on the video calls, while you are in the meeting, while you are just sitting and doing your work, anytime this can be done. So you can go for that exercise as well.
Your conference room and do the exercise and make your colleagues also do along with you. It's one of the best exercise for your heart health too. So
Yes.
protect your organs, all the vital organs by doing nitric oxide down.
Mujhe, would you want to answer this? Can do fruits have protein and is mango like good? It's the season of mangoes around. And it's one of the most favorite fruit for all of us. And people are actually very worried to eat mangoes. So can you just put some
Yes.
light on that?
My take on having mango is, avoid mango in the form of milkshakes or amras, which we eat simply. You can have it. We are allowed to have fruit. You can have it in the fruit quota, but that too not daily because it has high sugar content. It is high sugar content and it will spike up your sugars. Okay. As we discussed, if you were there in the last session, add that sweet in the last. Have your fibers first, then have your roti sabzi protein first, and then 1 or 2 slices of mango at the end will not have that much impact on your sugar levels. But you will directly, if you will go with whole 1 mango, yes, that will give you a sugar spike. If you're directly having 1 or 2 katoris of amras, yes, that will give you a sugar spike. If you're having a milkshake, mango milkshake, that will give you a sugar spike. So you have to be again mindful here. How much quantity is okay? How much quantity you can eat? Yes, you have to enjoy this season because personally, this comes once a year. I also know that I am a fan of mango. But again, we have to make sure that what time it is right. Have a balanced meal, have a good amount of fiber, protein, and complex carbs. Add 1 or 2 slices in the end, that is fine. Don't add a katori or 2 katoris of amras in your diet. That will surely spike up the sugar levels.
Also, on the sugar-free Chyawanprash, one client is asking. So, is it recommended for us to consume for sugar-free Chyawanprash or should we avoid it?
Yes, sugar-free Chyawanprash should be having any sugar substitute. We have to find which sugar substitute it has. if it has the natural sugar substitute like stevia, yes, we can go with it. But if it doesn't have any natural sugar sweetener and it is made up with sucralose or any sweetener which is not mentioned, but nowadays you can, this is what I have tried. Look at the ingredients, sweetener, there is a code of that particular sweetener. Google that code, you will get what sweetener it is. So if that is sucralose, maltose, dextrose, anything like that, avoid having it because that will give you a spike.
Yeah, we have a question here, which is better, moong dal or besan chilla? So see, we cannot go for like this is better or that is better. That eventually has to be a combination of food. If I tell you, Mr. Indranil, go for moong dal chilla, that's good for you. Will you be able to eat on a regular basis? No, right? So we need those modifications, we need those variations to break the monotony of the food that we are eating. So let us ensure that we keep on going for different options. For example, what benefit a mango is giving me, apple cannot give me. What apple is giving me, a jamun cannot give me, right? So it's essential for us to understand that every food has its own nutritional benefits, its own, beautiful properties to give to your body. So let us probably, go for different options. In order to answer the question of like, does watermelon, apple, papaya spike the sugar? When it comes to the fruits, yes, fruits can actually spike up your sugar, and therefore I had mentioned before, in case you see that the sugars are getting spiked post consuming your fruits as well. For example, let's consider a papaya or a watermelon. Try to sprinkle some pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, flax seeds on it. That will help us to lower the spike. Now, this does not mean that your papaya is not healthy, or your apple is not healthy, right? Because fruit has that amount of carbohydrates present in it, and that is the reason you see that spike. So, fruits are not bad. Let us ensure to modify it a little whenever you're consuming it. So that's a better way to consume it.
Okay. Someone here has asked, can we take rice and chapati at one time? What is your take on that?
My take here is, Anuja, that yes, rice and chapati can be consumed at one. Again, it become to the square one. How much portion size are we consuming? If I'm having a small chapati and some rice, that's okay. But if I'm having 3 chapati and 2 katori of rice, that's not required for my body. And if I do that, I am probably, exceeding the amount of 25% of carbs which I should be consuming in my thali. So let us ensure that whether you are eating a chapati or a rice or a combination of both, it should not exceed more than 25% in your thali, so that we can have required amount of carbs, fiber, and the required amount of proteins in the diet.
I have seen one question coming, that is mango or any fruit good for breakfast? So if you were there in the last session, we have put a lighting on them. Breakfast has to be a savory one because that will ensure that first meal that you are eating will not give you a higher spike. Okay, because if the spike is on the higher side at the start of your day, imagine throughout the day the spike will be on the higher side. Okay, so flatten the curves of your blood sugar throughout the day. Make sure instead of going with a sweet breakfast, go with a savory breakfast. That is a better option. And again, mango in the morning, first thing, will cause a spike throughout the day. So it is better to have after the meal 1 or 2 slices again.
Also, we have a lot of questions. Can we eat kodu millet? Can we eat rice? क्या हम रोटी खा सकते हैं? क्या हम बाजरा खा सकते हैं? तो जैसे कि मैं अभी आप लोगों को बता रही थी, ये चीज़ें बहुत इंडिविजुअलाइज्ड होती है। हो सकता है अनुजा के शुगर लेवल्स रागी खाने के बाद बहुत बढ़ते हो, पर मेरे शुगर लेवल्स रागी खाने के बाद बहुत स्टेबल रहते हैं। हो सकता है मुझे राइस से बहुत शुगर स्पाइक आता है, पर हो सकता है मिस्टर अमित को राइस खाने के बाद बहुत स्पाइक नहीं आता हो। सो इट इज़ वेरी इंडिविजुअलाइज्ड, एंड दैट इज़ द रीज़न इसी दौरान हम आपके सीजीएम पीरियड में आपकी स्टडी को एनालाइज करते हैं, आपकी बॉडी को समझते हैं, राइट? आपके कोचेस ने आपसे इस बारे में बात की होगी कि सीजीएम पीरियड इज वेरी वेरी क्रूशियल फॉर अस, दैट विल हेल्प अस टू अंडरस्टैंड योर बॉडी इन अ वेरी बेटर वे। व्हाट आई एग्जैक्टली मीन बाय दिस इज, कौन सी चीज खाने से, कौन से मील्स लेने से, कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ मील्स लेने से आपके शुगर में स्पाइक हो रहा है, आपका ग्राफ कैसे ऊपर नीचे जा रहा है। सो वी एक्चुअली अंडरस्टैंड दीज थिंग्स वेरी वेल ड्यूरिंग योर सीजीएम पीरियड. Okay, so your coaches actually understand, analyze, and try to probably even make you understand what suits you and what does not. And accordingly, they make the modifications. Now, when I say that, okay, ragi might cause a spike for someone, it does not mean that ragi is bad. Maybe the combination that you are having is not good. The method of preparation that you are having is not good. Okay. If I'm having a fancy vegetable ragi fried balls, it might spike my sugar. If I'm having something like a ragi dosa with required amount of sambar and chutney, maybe that is absolutely good for me. So before, we end up tagging the food कि jawar बुरा है, चावल खराब है, केला बुरा है. Before doing that, let us ensure, are we having in a proper portion size? उसका method of preparation कैसा है? हम सही समय पे ले रहे हैं क्या? So there is a lot of science behind that, people, right? So let us understand that, and then let us decide, is that food good or bad for us? And if in case we see after having some major changes, dietary modifications, different combination, still it is not suiting us, so maybe we can avoid it. Agar if we are able to eat 10 different complex carbs, maybe we can just avoid one. That's absolutely okay for us.
Breakfast savory, explain. Savory matlab aap, let's say you could have as simple as besan chila bana ke you can kha sakte ho. Then you can have poha with some protein intake, maybe boiled sprouts and good amount of vegetables so that it will be balanced. These are the good options for savory breakfast in our terms, we say.
Mr. Ravi Shankar is saying one small cup rice or one chapati not sufficient. Even one measure will give my sugar 150. Then why should I have it at all? Feel more happy to omit it and get 130 readings. So, Mr. Ravi Ramachandran, my question is, for how long will you omit your meals, and for how long you will be happy by skipping your meals, right? Your body will require that food. What exactly we studied today, how food affects your brain, how food affects your brain, blood glucose levels. That's very essential. So skipping of the meal or omitting the meal and having that temporary happiness of 130 reading is not essential. Understanding how can we maintain the reading of 130 to 140 by even having healthier meals is important. Okay. So skipping of the meals is very temporarily. Maybe in rather than just skipping the meal, we can just try to incorporate some good amount of fiber, good amount of protein. That will eventually help us to control the spike. And as I mentioned in the presentation, the food, the order of the food that you're having, right? That is essential. So let's try to work on that and not rather skip the meals. That's not at all recommended. Even Mr. Amit is saying that during the CGM period, when he had a lot of, spikes, he actually controlled a lot of food and then he could bring it to normal. So even I would suggest, let us not make lot of changes during the CGM period. Just because I see that मेरा sugar का सुबह का morning level बहुत बढ़ गया है, let me not just make a drastic change in the lunch. For initial 2-3 days, let me see my normal eating or how my body is responding to the CGM. That will help us to understand the current food habits that you have, or the food habits that you have been following since a lot of years now. How is it affecting your glucose levels? And that will give the coach a better understanding to make the required modifications.
Someone is asking, is intermittent fasting good for diabetic or not? Very vast topic. We have covered, I guess, in one of the sessions. You can ask your coach to share the PPT of intermittent fasting, but it works for some people, it doesn't work for some. That is totally dependent on how your body is reacting. But the common take would be, yes, it can help you control your sugar levels, but it has been done in a right way and right timings and everything. So that for your lifestyle routine, you have to discuss with your coach. Someone is asking, what is spike? So spike is nothing but how much your sugars are going on the higher side. This is what spikes are.
Nalini ji, आप insulin पे है, is it okay to fast? Now, we do have those religious beliefs wherein हो सकता है कोई त्योहार हो, कोई उपवास हो जो आपको करना ही होता है. So not going against those religious beliefs, but it is recommended if you're on insulin to avoid fasting as much as possible. And even if you're fasting, let's not go for a complete fasting wherein you're only on a fruit diet or on a only water diet throughout the day. That is not recommended. Maybe we can go for some healthier options of fasting. For example, let's consider rajgira ki roti with some light, let's say flaxseed chutney and curd. So this is a meal that you can have for your fast and still will ensure that the glucose levels are little stable. So try to avoid fast as much as possible. And whenever you're doing, just understand healthier and better options to consume during fasting from your coach, other than just going for only consuming fruits or only having sabudana khichdi throughout the day, that's not recommended because that will really hamper your glucose levels. All right, Anuja, I think we are good to go. We are running short of time now. And we are extremely sorry if we could not answer any of the question. Maybe that was not intentional from our end because we have a lot of questions just coming all our way. And for any further doubts and queries, we would, really suggest you, please be in touch with your coach, answer their calls, talk to them, and just understand your body, what is good for you and what is bad for you. I'm sure whether for any doubts and queries, your coach will be the best person to answer, and it will be a very individualized and not a generic advice for you.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, Anuja. All right. Thank you everyone for joining in.
Thanks, Anuja and Radhika, for this wonderful session. I guess it was very insightful, very much needed. I hope you all can understand the importance and would be taking the relevant step, discussing with your coach. And we want you to really reverse, understand how to manage it more beautifully in a more tactful manner. And for any question, you can reach out to your coaches or even you can write down in the premium group. We will be reaching out to you. Please keep participating in the weekly or the monthly challenges what we run. These are the additional bonus points to help you in achieving your targets on time, keep you motivated, and help you in completely reversing your diabetes. So thanks a lot and have a wonderful Sunday. Thanks for joining us today. Thank you, girls. Thanks a lot.